remove a layer of bark. Hello, I'm Miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom. A sunny but cool summer day near Stanford, California. This tree, as I mentioned to you before, I carried the tree off the airport, San Francisco airport, from Taiwan. I bought it from a nursery that someone dug it from the mountains in Taiwan. It's a Asian or Chinese Zelkova sinensis, and it has very small leaves, or at least can become really small leaves. And you can see it's a very old tree. By all standards, it's really very nice. Today, what I'll do is I tell you a little bit about the tree, and also to show how we can improve the look of it. Like all the trees, they become heirloom because as you work on it, it looks better and better. And that's the name, bonsai heirloom. So this is the backside. You can see this backside is basically a piece of the tree, of a big tree, giant tree. And you can see this is all wood. Someone asked me if you can varnish the wood to preserve it, actually. And I'm saying, why not? Bonsai is art. By definition, it's free to do whatever you like with it, so long it's pleasing to you and maybe of interest to somebody. So for example, in talking about this tree, you can polish this. Just imagine such a contrast, a tree that's so old. On one side, it's a polished like furniture, shiny. And then the other side is this old tree. And if you put it on a rotating table, absolutely it would be stunning. And it will be ooh and ah about it, right? And so, yes, you can do anything with it. One time I talked about use the cloth trick to help you visualize the tree, to help you design. So let me show you what I mean here. So I'll take this cloth, this towel, now you can see quite a different tree. You can see this is the final idea that I have. It's much more natural. This essentially become the apex, and I probably will have to tilt the pot a little bit to make it more go upright instead of towards the front. But you can see now this is actually a much better looking tree than before. Maybe at least by my judgment, you may think otherwise. And that's the beauty about bonsai. Everybody can have their own opinion. Like this, I can't explain it. It's just like, why is this part so tall? It looks kind of, but the other way, I can almost say, this is the apex, and this one grows this way, and then these trees grow that way. Makes a lot more sense. And not only that, and this piece can be saved to make into a nice shohin bonsai. Just imagine this in a little pot with that big a base and a little tree, and then this become the apex. I think it'll be really, really different. So that's what we'll do today. I will try to air layer this piece, and as an experiment for you to see what happens by doing so, right? I think that'll be kind of fun and educational. So that's what we'll do today to this tree. Okay, let me go get the material and let's get going. So now let me decide where to do the air layering. I can do it as low as here, or I can do it up here. I don't think I need too much of this for this tree. On the other hand, I leave some up here to give this tree an option. In fact, I can tilt this tree back to make this more of an apex, or hopefully something will pop out of here after I cut it. So with that in mind, then I'll cut it probably up here. And then the other consideration is if you look in the back, you can see there's a very interesting pattern of the wood grain. So if I do it up here, I may be able to save this feature later on for this tree to be kind of like this. I don't know, just the fact that it's so old and venerable, I'd rather leave it alone if I can. So I'll probably try to break it off here because this is still alive. this is all dead because this got the bark, whereas this one doesn't. Okay, let me start cutting. I have to cut around. One of the things about air layering is that you have to cut all around with no bars, top and bottom bar connected. Any connection you leave will result in less efficient air layering. It takes longer, and it may not come out at least the parts of the roots will not come out. Let me go get something. So I'm now trying to go around to remove a layer of bark, a section of the bark. You have to go all the way around so you don't miss any because it will hinder the growth of the roots. You have to follow the bark so as to not to leave any out. I think the live part is only up to here, so I don't have to worry about that side. And then I have to do the other part to have a strip of bark removed. In fact, this part is dead too. So the only live part is really in the middle someplace. So you have to remove all of that until you get to the cambium layer. I'm pretty clumsy. I don't think you have to be that clumsy, but so long as you remove a very clean strip of bark so that you get to the cambium layer. Looks like there's going to be quite a bit of work to be done to get that. And this is a pretty sharp chisel, but even that is very hard material to remove. So please bear with me. I haven't done this kind of trees, at least not frequently. I'm actually gently tapping it so I don't cut too deeply. I'm not sure I really know what I'm doing, but I do my best. See, I had to do all the way till I see the white cambium layer, or lighter color cambium layer. I'm pushing to cut into it, to remove it, until I see the white. I think it's not so important to be clean the bottom because the roots will come out of the top, but still you don't want them to be connected to hinder the root development, because if it's connected, then the roots tend not to develop, but continue to suck the energy from the connected part. So you can see I'm removing all of the bark until I get to the white cambium layer. Make sure very little connection, or else it will not root properly. So this is where the roots will come out. And you have a little tree that's this way, and I can tilt it or whatever to make it whatever shape I want. With that in mind, then now I have to go get some rooting hormone and then wrap it up with the moss. So I will now brush on a little bit of hormone 3. You can see a big bottle lasts a long time. All you need is just a little bit of this. It will actually prevent it from rotting as well. So I put on a generous amount because a little waste costs very little compared to the value of the tree that I will be creating. I didn't go further because this part is dead, and I didn't go further because that part is dead too. Really old tree that not much is still alive, but it still look good. Now I take a relatively thick piece of plastic and wrap around. I say relatively thick is that because ultraviolet sometimes would destroy the plastic pretty quickly to become brittle, and then they fall apart, and then the tree gets dried out. It's fairly essential that the tree never dries out because that's when it will stop the rooting process, and it just prolongs the pain. So you wrap the plastic around it and you tie it in the bottom so that the water doesn't run out. I actually don't have to seal it that tightly because I'll be watering every day with the moss. It should keep moist quite nicely. Now what I'll do is I'll fill with sphagnum moss that I saved from my dying Phalaenopsis orchids and stuff it in the front where the cambium layer is. And I'll take my time putting quite a bit and then seal it with duct tape and then wait for it to, the roots to come out in probably 6 months, probably sooner. But I think that'll be fun when I cut it off, then we can work on the rest of the bonsai to reshape it, to repot it, and so forth. In conclusion, what I did today is I demonstrated the cloth hidden branch trick to show you how to help you visualize the tree. Then I cut off a layer of the bark, a strip of the bark, and put rooting hormone in it. And then put moss in it to seal it. And I'll also cover it with aluminum foil to prevent the sun from destroying the plastic sheets. And from that then, we will wind up having 2 improved trees of the original one, and also created a new small bonsai with a very big trunk, very old trunk, which is really nice. So think about creative ways to modify your tree year after year. That's how you create your bonsai heirloom, and that's why the name bonsai heirloom. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you think it's informative, please like and subscribe to our channel so that we'll advise you of, notify you of future posting. We have a lot of good material to cover. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. See you next week.